Good evening and welcome to Schenectady Online with Joe Kelleher. I, of course, am Joe Kelleher. Welcome back once again. Lot of stuff to talk about, but we are going to start off with some thank yous. And first, thank you very much for taking a few minutes out of your evening and a few minutes out of your schedule to stop by here at SAC TV. It's always a pleasure to have you, and we do have some great programming here. In fact, in the studio audience, I have one of our other hosts and the president of SAC TV. Her name is Janice Thompson, and we'll talk about an upcoming show that she has later. But I want to thank all of you who showed your support and came out and voted and gave me the kudos in my recent run for City Council. And just wanted to simply say thank you. It was a very interesting run. Although I did not win, I believe that the campaign was very successful, and we made a difference. You know, it really made a big statement, and the City Council took notice on that. But I do certainly want to congratulate the two people that came out ahead and won the election. Ed Kozier, who I ran against, congratulations. And to John Ferrari, congratulations to you also. It was great to see you sworn in at the last City Council meeting on the 24th, and I wish you all the best. So now it's time to hold City Council accountable. And they have a job to do, and that's to represent us, the people of the city of Schenectady, and to the best of their ability, and to uphold the laws that are on the books, not only for the city of Schenectady, not only for the state of New York, but also, if you take a listen to when they swear those folks in, they also swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. And that, above all else, the most important. You know, a lot of men and women fought and lost their lives so that we could have the freedoms to be able to vote and have what we have today here, not only in the city, but in the United States of America. So thank you for doing your part, and thank you for getting out there to vote, and thank you for all the help that you've given in all the campaigns out there, whether mine or someone else's. You do make a difference. Every vote counts, and all of you make a difference. So thank you. Folks, recently I did have some surgery on my leg. Some of you may have seen me out hobbling around on my crutches, and my wife Linda, who is here in the studio, also driving me around all over the place. And she's sitting back there rolling her eyes like she usually does, and we know that just how that is. So thank you very much, really, for all the kudos and all the support with the well wishes and the cards and thank yous, and it really has been supportive. Everything's going very, very well, and I should be back on my feet and driving not only my wife crazy, but around again the city soon on my own wheels here. So we're looking forward to that. The next City Council meeting is on Monday, December 8th at 7 p.m., and that's when you folks have an opportunity to talk about some of the issues that you care about and that you want to hear about. I encourage you to go up to the city's website and download the agenda and take a look at that. Now, as I looked today, today being Thursday, December 4th, as of 5 o'clock this evening, there still was not as of 4 o'clock this evening, there still wasn't an agenda up online yet. So that'll be up either late tonight or tomorrow at some point. Typically, it comes out on Fridays. Once in a while, we get lucky and see it out a little bit early. I haven't seen anything quite up there yet, but I did have an opportunity to take a peek at the last City Council committee meeting and the information that happened up over that way. Looks like they were looking at demolishing some more homes and taking over a few more homes on foreclosures. So, you know, we got a lot of properties over this way, and the sooner we get these properties taken care of, the better it's going to be for all of us as a whole, because it's going to modify the assessment all across the board. And as Vince Riggi said at a recent meeting, just because your assessment gets modified, that doesn't necessarily mean that the taxes change. The taxes are something that comes afterward as a result of the assessment. You don't reassess your home to get your taxes lowered. You reassess it for the value, and then based on the value, it gets the taxes lowered. You know, it's kind of convoluted that way, but in the long run, it all comes out to about the same thing. When you get the reassessment done, if your assessment is lower, you're taxed. You get a lower base tax. However, If you took a look at the last budget that passed, we are now going to be paying a little bit more. Now, if you take a look at your taxes, 1%, the 1.5%, whatever the case might be, may not seem like a big deal. It's maybe, for most of us, $100 or less. But if you take a look at the grand scheme, and you really need to take a look at the grand scheme, if we're taxed $100 last year and $100 this year and $100 next year, and 5 years ago it was another $100, or whenever it might have been, that all adds up over the years. It's not just $100. Over the past X number of years, it's been exponential, okay? So we paid $50 for the first year, and then we paid $50 plus another $65 for the following year, and then it was $50 plus $65, and then the next year they tack on another $75. So it kind of all adds up over years. So if you look at it over the past several years, your taxes have increased over the course of time. So it's like it's chipping away a little bit. If you go and get a raise, and you get a raise this year, and then you get a raise next year, you're gradually getting more and more and more money over every year. It's the exact same thing with City Council. But I'm going to ask this. How many of you got a raise continually over the past 5 years? I know I certainly didn't, and I can speak for a lot of other people who say that they haven't. So think about it that way, in that all they're asking for is to pay more out year after year after year after year continually. So that's where we get that exponential, okay? It kind of works out all the same, and eventually, how much is too much? When are we going to start getting more control over the budget and make it more fiscally responsible? That's what we need to focus on. And I know that Anthony Ferrari and the folks in the finance department have really tried to do their best with this, but their hands are tied by what the city council approves and disapproves. Now, Mr. Kelleher asked about people going to some of the city council meetings, or rather the budget meetings, and I went to one of the budget meetings, but as a member of the public, you don't have an opportunity to speak at any of these public meetings. You only have an opportunity to speak and have any input at the public hearings that they have for the budget meetings. And that was only one. There was only one done, and unfortunately that was a meeting that I couldn't make. So unless you get it in on at the right spot at the right time, it doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot of good. But if you go continually, and you speak at the rail at city council meetings continually, and you get other people to speak about the exact same thing, eventually somebody's going to have to step up and listen to what the people are saying. And the city council that represents you and I are going to have to make a move, and move on what we believe needs to be done and what's in the best interest of the city. Let's continue on some of these possible revenue streams. You know, I was at a meeting and had a chance to talk with some other representatives here, not only in the city of Schenectady, but throughout the county and the entire region as well. One of the things that's pulled out of this entire area and that the city was built upon was manufacturing. We've seen GE lose how many people over the course of the past 3 decades alone, and pull out so many people, where our city had 120,000 people at one point, and now we're down to about 66,000 people. And it's just, if we keep the same amount of taxes that we had when we were at 120,000 people, or it gets higher and higher, think about it, it's completely unsustainable. We have to get more realistic here in the city and in the county as well. If we find ways to bring more revenue back in, like bringing manufacturing back in here to the city, something that Carl Erickson had spoken about when he was up at City Council, and he and I had talked about on a couple of occasions, was allowing for incentives for businesses to come into this area. Now, let's not take into what Governor Cuomo had talked about with bringing in these tax-free zones, because the tax-free zones are taking away from you and I as well. Anybody who has a business inside one of these tax-free zones, for 5 years they don't have to pay taxes. Not only don't they have to pay taxes, but their employees don't have to pay any state taxes as well. So that leaves the burden once again on us. What happens after that time frame when it's actually not 5 years, it's 10 years, isn't it? It's 10 years. After that 10 years, now when they have to start paying taxes again, do you think that some of these businesses are actually going to stay around and these people are going to have to start paying taxes again? It's unlikely. They're going to take that business away and they're going to go to another area where it's tax-free, because it's all free money for them. It's free money if they go over to another state and they don't have to pay taxes in another state. Or there's some kind of an incentive given to them, again, to remain here in the state. It falls on the back of you and I. The government just doesn't print money. And if they do, our economy drops. Because money doesn't just grow on trees. It really doesn't. Where does it come from? It comes from what you and I make. If the government makes more money or prints more money, it decreases the value of the dollar. If you talk to any financial expert, they'll explain that to you a little bit deeper. And really, I encourage people to go and find out more. Talk to financial experts and let them explain it to you in better terms. If you don't understand it the way that I am, please find somebody that can explain it to you and exactly how. Show them this here and let them tell you how it's done. We've got a lot to talk about right here in the city of Schenectady, though, so I don't want to go off on any too many tangents. I do that too often as enough, don't I? I got the nod over here and the grin from my wife. Oh, the background over here. Oh, and now she's biting her tongue. Okay, good. That's what happens. We have a lot of fun here over in the studio. It's the Christmas season. There's a lot of things happening here in the city and around the area. So we hope you'll certainly take advantage of them. In fact, I'm going over to a meeting tonight for the American Legion Riders right after we leave the studio over this way. You know, the American Legion Riders, every one of those members is a member of the American Legion family, either from the American Legion Auxiliary or the Sons of the Legion or an actual Legionnaire from the American Legion. Now, the American Legion is an organization of military, active military and veterans who have served during wartime. I'm a proud new commander of Post 1092 in Niskayuna, and we certainly invite you to stop by any given Saturday morning. They have breakfast over there, only $5, but as of January 1st, due to cost increases, our price goes up to $6, but still, to get pancakes, eggs made to order, French toast, coffee, juice. What else do we have there? Pancakes. What's that? Bacon, sausage. You know, it's a really good deal for $6. Coffee, lots and lots of coffee. We have all kinds of drinks. If you want something from the bar, well, we kind of don't have the bar open per se, but you can certainly grab a soda if you would prefer that too. But really, for $6, $5 right now until the end of the year, it's really not a bad deal, and we'd love to see you and stop in and thank a vet for their service to our country. But coming up this weekend, lots and lots going on around the area. I mean, just tomorrow night, Friday night, December 5th, we've got Linda and I are going to join some folks for dinner over at Anthony's restaurant, their home-style restaurant and pizza on Upper Union Street. Anthony and the staff over there are just absolutely fantastic. And not to mention a great guitarist there tomorrow night, jazz guitarist John McIntosh. He sells his CDs there, and this guy, you'd swear if you close your eyes, you heard Grover Washington playing or George Benson, and he does such a phenomenal job. Really, stop by, say hello. We're going to be there 6 o'clock tomorrow night, but right after that, starting at 7 o'clock, you've got an evening of holiday music to benefit Jack's Place. Now, Jack's Place is the organization and home started by the Jack Falvo Foundation for folks who are coming in to visit people who are in Sunnyview Rehab and need a place to stay. It's kind of like a theme that you would have for a Ronald McDonald House, for some place for the people to come and stay. And this fundraiser, it's $12 a person. They have appetizers. They have the cash bar open over that way. Great holiday music that's going on from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock. So hopefully we'll see you out there too. Then on Saturday, just a full weekend, isn't it? Saturday morning, of course, is breakfast over at the American Legion. Then Saturday evening, yours truly, Joe Kelleher, I'll be DJing for the Parents Without Partners and single parents of the Capital District, their holiday party over at the Edison Club. Now, as of the date of we're recording this, it may actually be too late for you to get in on it. And it's $30 a head over at the Edison Club, but dinner, dancing. Take a look online. And as we say here at Schenectady Online, you can find so much online. And a lot of the information is very, very resourceful, and it's very helpful. We encourage you to go and take a look at some of these websites. This one here is, there are two sites actually. One of them is at our meetup.com site. You can find that at Capital Region Off the Couch Gang, which is an organization that I can talk to you about a little bit later on at another point. But have lots and lots of stuff going on. But go to that site. It's open to the public right now. And you can see the PWP holiday singles holiday party there. You don't have to be single to attend it, but it's definitely a great night out for you to meet lots and lots of people. Then on Sunday is the American Legion's holiday party. It's a potluck Christmas party that we're having over there from 2 to 5 p.m. Then also next week, on the Thursday the 11th, you've got two great events going on. The first one, both of them starts at 6 o'clock. The one is Bellevue Preservation. They're having their tree lighting and putting up a Christmas wreath right at the corner there, Bellevue Westinghouse. Make sure you stop by over that way, say hello, and be over there for the tree lighting and for lighting up the wreath. Then also going on is the Mount Pleasant holiday party, and that's at the Faith Deliverance Tabernacle Church in Mount Pleasant. To find out more information about these, go up to the city website and look for the neighborhood associations, and you can find out the contact information for both the Bellevue Preservation Committee and for Mount Pleasant. And if you can't get a hold of any of the folks there, really call any of your neighborhood association presidents. They will be more than happy to steer you in the right direction and get you in touch with the right people. These neighborhood associations are there for us. They're there for you. They're the folks who you can talk to if you have a problem in your area, an issue in your neighborhood that you want brought up to SUN, the Schenectady United Neighborhoods, and eventually that information will get fed up to City Council and to the mayor and to the city as a whole, so that some of these issues can be resolved and some of these can be taken care of. These neighborhood associations are there to serve you, and they all encourage you to get involved and take a part of the organization to make our city better as a whole by your activities. As I mentioned earlier, and I started to talk about, the Off the Couch Gang is an organization that was actually started in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It was started out by some folks who just decided to get together and have some fun and get together with some great people and get out and do things. Basically, get up and get off the couch. And that's exactly what they did. The original Off the Couch Gang has about 2,000 members now. We did a spin-off up over this way, and it's now called Capital Region Off the Couch Gang. We've got 1,300 members at this point, and we're both on Facebook and on meetup.com. So take a look up over there, join the group, take a look at some of the great events that we have upcoming. We look forward to seeing you out and about. We've got plenty of stuff to do. If you can't find anything to do here in the Capital District, it is truly your own fault because you're just not looking hard enough. And believe me, there's lots and lots of volunteering to do, lots of places that are looking for volunteers. Use your talents to benefit everyone, and really, it'll bring you joy, lots of joy in return. We really appreciate that. Now, I mentioned something earlier about Janice Thompson, and Janice is here in the studio, so I'm going to give her the honorable mention. Janice has a show coming up on February 6th at the Stockade, 7 p.m., so mark that down in your calendar. And she's going to be there with singer, songwriter, composer Dan Dobek. And it's going to be a great show, so mark your calendar for Dan and Janice at the Stockade, February 6th, 7 p.m. And should be a great show. We're looking forward to seeing that. A pre-Valentine party. Very nice. A pre-Valentine show. So that'll be really great. Bring your sweetheart out to the Stockade. The Stockade Inn, and have a drink. What's that? The Festival of Trees is when? Right. What's the date on the Schenectady Festival of Trees? Oh, it's going on now. It's continual, right? Yeah. So step down. And I saw that online too today, and I forgot to mention that. I'm glad you said that. The Schenectady Downtown Improvement District had it on their website too. Schenectady Downtown Improvement Corporation, right? So really take a look you'll find them on Facebook as well. All of this information that I mentioned about some of the ongoing events, I find in the same places that you can find them too. Take a look online on Facebook. You can find them on the Schenectady's site. You can find them on the Schenectady Online. I'll be posting up some of these events on there so you can follow them. Check out Capital Region Off the Couch Gang. Find Janice's show on there. Find SAC TV on there, sacc.tv. You can find out their website. You can actually see the show on there too, and we encourage you to do so. We've got one more show coming up in just 2 weeks, and that'll be our big Christmas show. Well, we'll have some fun with that one over there. We'll see if we can get some special guests in just before the holiday season. But I do want to wish you the best of the holiday season. Come back and see us here in 2 more weeks when hopefully I'll have this cast off my leg and we'll be kicking things up right here next time. Thanks again for stopping by Schenectady Online. I'm Joe Kelleher. Have a great night.